Through pride, we are ever deceiving ourselves. But deep down below, the surface of the average conscience, a still, small voice says to us, something is out of tune. Hello, this is Alex from Shadow Ascent, where the darkness meets the light. I hope you enjoyed that Carl Jung quote right before this, as this video is going to have that emphasis on the darkness. And I'm going to tell you 2 reasons, or at least 2 fears that you may be dealing with that are keeping you stuck. Fear number 1. The fear of discomfort. We have all had a point in our lives where we were just comfortable. Whether that's during the day in or day out, maybe there is a point where we are comfortable. But there's also those time periods in life where it seems like we'd rather indulge in what we know we probably shouldn't be doing than to take that directed action towards the thing that we fear. And that is being uncomfortable, knowing we have to do something, or we want to do something potentially, but not doing it because of complacency, because you're afraid of the discomfort in the work that's involved with that action. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you what's wrong with you. What are you doing with your life? Oh my God, like just get up out of your seat and stop scrolling on your phone. That's not what I'm here to do. Today, I am going to inspire you and encourage you to take that action. So, for me, I'm going to tell a personal story. And this is just an example of something that happened to me recently. I was laying on my bed, scrolling through my phone, maybe at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, knowing that there's still a little bit of extra studying that I could be doing. But yet, I found myself on YouTube, scrolling through YouTube Shorts, and allowing myself to just lay there, while knowing and having that present awareness that I should probably be getting up to do my studying. And yet, I still decided to stay there for a couple minutes longer. It's maybe 8:15, and I'm like, okay, we'll go until 8:20. And at 8:20, I did get up. But now, I could have sat there or laid there and just stayed on my phone for the rest of the night. But I didn't, because I connected a little bit deeper into what's important to me and what my values are. Now, for someone that is struggling with that fear of discomfort and that discipline that it takes to overcome the discomfort of challenging yourself, you need to ask yourself, what is your why? Okay. What is your purpose behind the discomfort or the discipline or the importance of what you need to do? Whether it's as simple as something as washing the dishes or something as complex as working on a multifaceted project for work. What is causing you to avoid it in the first place? That is something that you need to answer for yourself. So, for me, in that moment, I was trying to avoid the tension that sometimes I get from having to sit down still and reading a textbook. And that's not easy for me, because in the past, I have never followed through with with reading a book all the way through, especially a book that's educational or very stimulating intellectually and cognitively. I have not been able to read something through like that. I am almost at the end of my bachelor's degree, but yet I have hardly put in any effort to learn. So ask yourself, what is important to me? What do I value? Are there dreams and aspirations in my life that I want to work towards? And what is your ideal self? Okay, what is a momentary feeling of discomfort going to do in the long run? What would be the con of participating in or engaging in an act or behavior in order to do something that you feel like you need to do or you want to do? You're just struggling with that motivation and drive to get to it. Now, what would be the pros? Now, really evaluating that decisional balance, what would be the pros of engaging in the behavior? Okay, so for me, I knew the cons of not going to study would have been me being regretful of it later on, like, hey, wow, I was capable of doing this bout of studying, but yet I chose comfort over everything else, over my aspirations and some of the goals that I have set for myself. I personally am trying to commit myself to a lifelong journey of learning. But within that, it's very difficult because there are going to be points where you don't want to do things. It's it's always going to be like that. So if you're struggling with that idea or with that concept, then it's time to try to embrace that and what's going to help you stay accountable, because you're the expert in your own life. I'm not here to tell you exactly what you need to do to get over this fear. You know what you need to do. So I'm a firm believer that you have the capability, you're competent enough. It's just a matter of coming up with a strategy in order to complete the action that you need to complete. When you see a huge pile of dishes at the end of the night, of course you don't want to wash those. And there will be some nights where you don't, which is okay. But those nights where you maybe still have a little bit of extra energy, not that much, but just a little bit, and you're trying to avoid those dishes, it's better to just jump right in, all in, before even thinking about it. Because your mind will find a way to talk you out of it. That's what always happens. You gave your mind time to think, then it'll convince you that you're not good enough. You aren't able to do this. You shouldn't do this. This is too hard. This sucks, That is not a great way to live. It's better to just take that action without even giving yourself the chance to think. And in the process, try to change your thoughts, like, hey, I'm doing this because I see the value in it. I'm doing this because I am helping out my wife or my husband, or maybe I'm doing this so I feel less stressed the next day. Try to change that perspective when it comes to that fear of discomfort. Fear number 2, the fear of failure. Some of us may choose to never do anything because of that fear of failure. Or for me, the way I describe it, the way I identify it, is that cringe within me of feeling like something is pointless because there's just too much effort and work that's involved with it. And knowing that if somehow I don't succeed at the end of it, then all that time goes to waste. So for this one, fear of failure, very similar in regards to how that fear of discomfort might be making you stuck. But in terms of failure, I think the best advice or insight that I could give would be to think about a best experience of yours in navigating a challenge. It could literally be any challenge as small or as big as you have navigated before in your life. And how did you overcome that challenge? And then after that, think, is it worth not taking my action step towards what I'm trying to accomplish here because of that fear of failure? Now, I'll give you an example here. In the summer of 2023, I went to the Sierra Nevada mountains with my friends and my brother. And we had about a 14-mile journey total in order to complete a summit hike / climb to the top of a 13,000 foot peak and back. And along the way, there were those points that were really difficult and challenging. And we got all the way up, maybe about 1,000 feet below the summit. And there was this large snowfield. This snowfield was probably about 3 football fields the length. And we were concerned on whether or not we should cross it. And I looked at this snowfield long and hard, and I thought to myself, I'm tired of being a quitter. I'm tired of giving up on things, never following through. So I stuck my pole through the snow. I thought, hey, this seems okay. I mean, I think maybe we can go up this snowfield, because the fear that was looming was, hey, what if it's dangerous? What if we fall through it? What if on the way back it's more melted and it's not crossable or it's dangerous? Okay, that's just all fear of the failure that would come, but hasn't actually manifested yet. Because the reality you're living in is your current reality. So I took one step forward, took the next step, then my next friend followed. We kept going up. My next friend followed, and then my brother. We made it all the way to the top of the snowfield, our heads pounding because of the altitude. But after that, we had the strength and the courage to persevere and make it to the summit. And at that top, we felt inspired and alive and fully engaged. And although physically we may have not felt great, we knew we overcame an immense challenge. And that is my story of overcoming that fear of failure, that obstacle in the way. And it can definitely be challenging. I completely understand that fear of failure can be really real. And often it won't go away. And it probably never will go away. And that's the tough truth to swallow. But it's a matter of who you are within that fear. Do you want to be the person that just backs down, lives your life in regret? Or do you want to be the person who's a go-getter, goes after it, tries to succeed to the best of their abilities, knowing that failure is a possibility? And if you do fail, don't attach your self-worth to that, because I have definitely done that in the past. Don't attach your self-worth to it. It'll only make things worse. It'll make you less likely to want to engage in another project or a task that has a high or even a medium to low risk of failure. It's better to see and look at it from the perspective of, what did I learn from this experience? Why did I fail? What could I have done better or improved upon? And take it from there. And give yourself credit for trying to the best of your abilities and knowing you tried to the best of your abilities and affirming that, because there are strengths involved with that. So I hope you gain some insights from this video. I hope this video provided you with something to feel inspired about, to have some takeaways to apply to your life right now. That's the whole point. To face that inner turmoil and question what you're going to do with it and what it's going to take that action within your values and how important things are to you in your life when it comes to taking action and following through. So I really hope again that this helped, and thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Let me know what's up, and I'd love to engage with you.